Alright guys, so I've been getting a lot of inquiries and DMs about using inverses and like the right time to use them. So you can't just always use in like if you see an inverse, which we see them a lot, because an inverse will show us where price is wanting to go, whether it holds that FVG or whether it breaks it. So you can't just some inverses you need to use just for pure to show you if price wants to go higher or lower, and some you can actually trade. And I just want to kind of show you guys that. So I've chosen a random spot from late August. I have not looked. I kind of closed my eyes and just went back a little bit. I did find a nice spot to kind of start with, but I don't know what's going to happen after there. So I'm going into this blind kind of like a nice little back testing session to see kind of like what's going on. So whenever you're targeting liquidity, you want to uh, you want to be looking like whenever you're looking to use an inverse, you don't want to buy like a random inverse in like the middle of a sequence. So you want to wait until like these big external liquidity levels are taken. Like these are big levels or like equal lows or equal highs. You see, I just noticed this. We have equal lows sitting right here. Um, but for example, like if we took so like we took these equal lows, but then we have like this liquidity pool sitting here too, and you notice we take this level plus the equal lows. That's a lot of liquidity taken. Um, so now from here, this is where you can kind of look for a long position with confirmation. I'm gonna stick to the 5 minute chart here just to make things simple. Maybe go to the hourly because you kind of want to know, obviously where you are in the hourly. You don't want to be longing into a bearish hourly FEG, but for the most part, I'm gonna try to stick to the 5 minute here. So, um, with all this liquidity taken here, you don't want to be looking for shorts here, in my opinion, unless you get like confirmation. But so you see right here, price denied this 5 minute fair value gap here, and then we kind of came down. We held this order block, and then as price came back up, we did get a close above. We got a close above this 5 minute inverse here, and then you see, you probably would have bought right here on this almost retest at 15,024, and then you want to target your internal liquidity. So like not like these big levels. You can hold runners to these levels, but we're just looking for 10 to 20 points because 10 to 20 points is more than enough to make a living on futures. So uh, you would probably target like this high first would be your first trim, and this is where you would go break even. So if it comes back, you still have a winning trade, and then maybe you target like up to this FEG right here, this bearish FEG. The next spot where price can pull back from. You always want to make your targets, your trims, and your break even spots. You always want to make it where price could come back to your price. Cause so price broke this level. Maybe price broke this FVG just to go take the liquidity sitting at this level, or just go up to this 5 minute fair value gap and reject. You don't know, so that's why it's important to trim and go to break even because we can reject it at any spot. You see, we did not, so maybe you hold a runner to this high, and then you see, this inverse would have worked out. You're obviously not going to hold a full position this far, so you probably would have trimmed here, went to break even here, and then okay, we got through this 5 minute. Okay, I'm going to trim here because if you take your fib, this would be above the zero point 0.5 fib. This one would and this one, so it's very very smart to obviously be trimming and then hold one runner, up to the high, which this trade works out. They're not all going to work out that way. That's why I'm kind of here to kind of show you. So we take this noticeable high gets taken here. So you see, so now since this liquidity was taken here, we can now look for a short position with confirmation. If price kept pushing higher, we know we're going up to this next level up here, and then we can look for a short from here. But you see, we took this level, and then okay, so then we want to see this 5 minute get inversed. Well, it inverses, we got to close below. We never got a retest, so there's no entry. I bet on the 2 or the 3 minute time frame there's probably an entry. Let's go look. There really wasn't one either, so that's why I'm just gonna stick to the 5 minute here. But so there's no entry, but you can still see we closed below this. It told us, okay, well we at least want to go test, this 5 minute fair value. Okay, we broke below this one. Okay, well we know we're gonna go test this one. So none of these FVGs are holding. So soon as this one gets broke, we know price probably at least wants to go to this low. So I'm not sure if this works. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't have to, but you see, because price literally just wanted to come down and test this order block here, which you see the wick. This order block hits the exact center of the wick of this order block, and we head back up. So now we didn't take any liquidity, so there's no real play that I would be looking for here. I mean, granted, this could work, but it's not a very convincing play. Like maybe on the hourly, we're looking. Even on the hourly, you can see like we're still rejecting here, and we kind of have like a nice little downtrend here that we might be headed back up for. However, it's just not something you want to play because we haven't taken much liquidity, at least on the 5 minute. We'll see if this works. Let's see if we get an inverse here, just for testing purposes. This would not be a trade that I take, but we'll see if it works here. So remember, this was the hourly algorithmic downtrend that's kind of starting here. So it makes me think we might head back up to this high. Just trying to get you guys in like the mind of how I go through my trades when I'm watching the markets. However, I do see that we have a fair value gap here. So maybe price is coming up just to come rebalance this fair value. We'll know if we reject it, form like a 1 minute or a 2 minute fair value gap or inverse to the downside. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, we hit that fair value. We have not closed above it yet. Okay, we got to close above now, so it tells us, okay, price should at least run back to this high. Okay, and you see price ran back to that high now. Let's see if we end up running this LRLR all the way through here. We do not have to. Keep that in mind. We do not have to. Instead, so we did not take it. Um, this could be a possible inverse here because this might be a decent inverse because we took this high, we took this high. We did not take this high. We did not have to, but we'll see if we get a close under. So we do get a close under. So we would enter. We got a close under here. We would have entered here at 15,100, we'll call it. And our first target we'd probably take our first target here, and then we would go to break even. It's 5 points on NQ. Maybe we hold for this one first. You see, like we only stop out if we close back above it. So even if you wanted to be more aggressive with your break even and your take profit, this still would have worked. And then your next target would probably be this 5 minute order block and see if price wants to bounce from here. So at this point, you're probably like targeting this order block, and you're targeting this fair value because you're targeting where price could potentially reverse on you. So we'll see if we. So you see how we respect that order block very, very nicely, uh, and then price is heading back up now. So if we get an inverse here, it's possible we can take a long position. We got a nice little downtrend here. We got a nice little downtrend here. And then but and now we are now delivering from a 15-minute order block, and I bet if we go to a 15-minute fair, and then if you look at this, you see that 5 minute order block was combined with the 15-minute fair value gap, showing us price wants to go back higher. So you see how you got to intertwine all time frames together to kind of show you where price wants to go. So now we know we're delivering from a 15-minute fair value gap, a 5 minute order block. So now we're looking for any kind of inverse here to go run these highs up here. So we are kind of high right now. So you probably wouldn't scale very high into this, just because we're we're very high. We need like a bigger pullback, just because we're very high up here. Um, I'm going to play this. So we do get to close above. However, we do hit this first high first. So a rule for me is if you take internal liquidity, which would be like this high, before you get the close above and the retest, I just would not enter this trade because where do you take profit? Where do you trim? This would have been my first trim. So if this would have been my first trim, that means okay, price could reject from here because that's the internal liquidity where could price could have held here. Just go back up to this high. So this inverse may not work. It may not work now. It very well could, as long as the draw on liquidity is higher. We could run the top of this downtrend up to here, which is very possible. That would be like your final target. Maybe you hold a runner up to here. Um, but you see, we did run the top of this algorithmic downtrend. So this is how you can just kind of use inverses, and then like these little downtrends or uptrends to kind of like help you and tell you where price wants to go. I'm just gonna play this and see if price did end up running the high. I'm just curious. So now you see we took this high. You would not want to play this inverse if we come back down into it, because I mean it's a very good high right there. It's very possible that and you see we're also rejecting a 5-minute fair value gap here. So and it's also a 5-minute inverse. I'm not going to draw it because it's going to be too many, but I'm just going to play it out here and see if this did take the high. So you see we took the high here on the algorithmic downtrend on both of them, and now you see we are displacing down. So now we can look for a short position. It's a very good scalping strategy that can just get you in and out, get you your trades, and you can call it a day in the market. So you see we didn't have any 5-minute to inverse here. Maybe there's nothing on the 15, maybe the 3-minute. Still nothing on the 3-minute. So at this point, this strong of a candle down, we'd be looking probably for this low, just because a strong candle like this tells us, okay, price wants to at least go to internal liquidity sitting here. So there we go. Okay, and now we're just too now we're too low. Like the risk reward here is just not worth it. We'll see if this works, but you can kind of see we have a 5-minute here. We close below. There would have been your retest, and then you would have got stopped out. But because we're so low, you just don't. That's a trade that you just don't want to take there. But since we are so high and we got such strong displacement down, this could be a possible trade here using a regular 5-minute fair value, and then you see we tap into it, we hit the exact dead center of it, and we'll see if we push back higher or lower here. So you see we pushed higher. It did not work out there. So once this happens, we need to go to a higher time frame and be like, oh, because price has this. It did not work because price wants to run this. So if we go and run the hourly candles, you'll see, oh, that 5-minute inverse or this 5-minute broke because there's a higher level that price wanted to take. It at least wanted to. Once it breaks this, you could have. Granted, we're very high. You would not take this, but it's just the way of showing you how inverses show you where price wants to go. Closed above. We didn't get a retest. Doesn't really matter because we're just using this one to kind of show us where price wants to go, and then we'll see if we do end up running that high. So you see that 5-minute got broke, and then we take that high. So just wanted to make a cool little video here. So kind of show you. Let's see if we get one more anything to the downside now that we took this big level here on NQ. Let's see if we get anything to the downside. So when you like are this high, you want to see like a 15 or a 5-minute or an hourly FVG break before you look for any kind of short position. So like you want to see some strong displacement down. So let's see if we can go to a 15-minute here. So I would not want to be short until we break this 15-minute. If we do, because we could very well hold here. Plus we have a 15-minute order block. You see we never got to close below. 15 held. took us back higher. So this tells us, okay, where does price want to go now? So it looks like price wants to go back up to 15,235 and go retap into this 4 hour and get this rebalance. Let's see if it does. And there we go. So price wanted to go back up to these highs and take all the liquidity sitting here. So this was the time when I believe it looks like, yeah, NQ had this nice 4 hour downtrend. This might be the time, or oh, I guess I just jumped to a lifetime. So I'm gonna call it there. I'm not gonna go back to where we were. I guess we are right here. No, this is pretty much live here. Okay. So yeah, with that, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just want to kind of show you and get you into not get you. I don't want to tell you how to trade, but just show you how I trade during the day and how I use FVGs and inverses to kind of tell me where price wants to draw to next. So let me know if you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the morning.